What if the smoothie you drank this morning for health reasons is actually making you more tired? Or what if that fitness routine you've followed for years is secretly damaging your body? In the next 15 minutes, I'm going to reveal 3 invisible health destroyers that might be sabotaging your vitality right now. Habits so deceptive that even health professionals often miss them. Think of them as the wellness equivalent of that friend who compliments your haircut while secretly posting unflattering photos of you online. Could your commitment to healthy living actually be the very thing preventing you from achieving optimal health? The answer, backed by surprising research, might be more disturbing than you're prepared to hear. Think about your last healthy meal. You felt virtuous, responsible, you were nourishing your body, right? But what if I told you that meal might have been dramatically less nutritious than you believe? Plot twist. Your kale might be more about appearances than actual substance. Like that Instagram influencer who looks completely different without filters. Modern agricultural practices have fundamentally changed the nutritional profile of our food supply. USDA data shows that between 1950 and today, many fruits and vegetables have lost between 15% and 65% of their vitamin and mineral content. That healthy apple you're eating has significantly less nutrition than the one your grandparents ate, despite looking bigger and more perfect. The nutrient paradox operates through 3 interconnected mechanisms. First, soil depletion. Modern farming has stripped soils of essential minerals. Plants grown in these depleted soils simply cannot manufacture nutrients that aren't present in their growing environment. It's like trying to make a gourmet meal when someone's emptied your refrigerator. Next, premature harvesting. Most produce is harvested before ripening to withstand transportation, but the final ripening stage is when many nutrients develop. Your store-bought tomato may look red, but it lacks the nutritional profile of one ripened on the vine. Lastly, anti-nutrient load. Modern food processing introduces compounds that actively block nutrient absorption. Certain preservatives, additives, and even some healthy components like excess fiber can bind to minerals, preventing their absorption. This creates a troubling scenario where someone can eat what seems like a perfect diet and still suffer from subclinical nutrient deficiencies. Not enough to create obvious disease, but sufficient to leave you with mysterious fatigue, brain fog, and compromised immunity. You're essentially a luxury car running on low-quality fuel. Dr. Mark Hyman estimates that over 90% of Americans are deficient in at least one essential nutrient. Most people with these deficiencies show no obvious symptoms, just a vague sense of not feeling their best, which they attribute to stress, aging, or simply normal life. Inflammation has become a health buzzword, but few people truly understand how it operates as a silent health destroyer. Do you ever experience unexplained fatigue, brain fog, joint pain, skin issues, or digestive problems that seem to come and go without clear cause? If so, you might be experiencing chronic low-grade inflammation, a subtle but persistent activation of your immune system that creates system-wide disruption while remaining largely invisible to standard medical testing. It's like having a low-level computer virus running in the background. Nothing crashes completely, but everything runs suspiciously slower than it should. Unlike acute inflammation, the redness and swelling that follows an injury, chronic inflammation operates below the threshold of obvious symptoms. It's like having your body's alarm system permanently set to low volume, not loud enough to demand immediate attention, but consistently draining your energy and resources. What makes this particularly troubling is how this inflammation creates a vicious cycle with the nutrient paradox. Nutrient deficiencies trigger inflammatory responses. Inflammation increases nutrient needs. Increased nutrient needs worsen deficiencies. Worsening deficiencies intensify inflammation. Research points to several hidden inflammation triggers that might shock you. Sleep disruption. Even minor sleep disturbances increase inflammatory markers by up to 40%. That late-night Netflix binge isn't just stealing your sleep, it's basically giving your immune system a Red Bull. Environmental toxins. The average person is exposed to over 700 xenobiotics daily, many with direct inflammatory effects. Artificial light exposure, blue light after sunset disrupts melatonin, a critical anti-inflammatory hormone. Chronic stress. Even normal levels of stress hormones can trigger inflammatory cascades. But the most surprising inflammation trigger may be found in your exercise routine. Studies show that up to a third of healthy exercise regimens create more inflammatory damage than recovery benefit, particularly when combined with other stressors and inadequate recovery. Our culture celebrates hustle, grind, and pushing limits. Even wellness culture often emphasizes doing more workouts, more superfoods, more biohacks. But what if this fundamental approach is backward? What if the missing element in your health isn't what you're doing but what you're not doing? This brings us to the recovery illusion, the mistaken belief that optimal health comes primarily from positive actions rather than from removing negative stressors and allowing proper recovery. It's health's version of trying to bail out a boat with a teacup while ignoring the gaping hole in the hull. Exercise physiologists now recognize a troubling pattern. Many health-conscious individuals exist in a state of chronic sympathetic dominance, perpetually stuck in fight-or-flight mode with inadequate parasympathetic rest and digest activation. This creates a hormonal environment where even healthy behaviors can become counterproductive. Consider this scenario. Sarah exercises diligently 5 days a week, follows a clean diet, takes supplements, and prioritizes 8 hours of sleep. Yet she struggles with stubborn body fat, afternoon energy crashes, and frequent minor illnesses. Medical tests show nothing obviously wrong. Sarah is caught in the recovery illusion. Her high-intensity workouts, calorie-conscious diet, busy work schedule, and blue light exposure from evening screen time all create a cumulative stress load that exceeds her recovery capacity. Despite doing everything right, her body never enters a true recovery state where healing and regeneration occur. This pattern is shockingly common. Research found that up to 60% of dedicated recreational athletes show markers of overtraining, a state where exercise causes more harm than benefit due to inadequate recovery. That's right, your dedication to beast mode might actually be putting you in least mode when it comes to results. When was the last time you stepped on a scale, checked your heart rate, counted calories, or tracked your steps? These measurements have become so fundamental to our concept of health management that we rarely question their value. But what if our obsession with health metrics is actually undermining our health? Welcome to the measurement mirage, the illusion that health can be reduced to numbers, and that optimizing these numbers necessarily improves actual health outcomes. The problem isn't measurement itself, but rather which metrics we prioritize and how we interpret them. Consider these troubling examples. Weight fixation. Studies show focusing on weight can trigger stress hormones that promote fat storage. Many people achieve ideal weight through methods that compromise long-term health. Step counting. The ubiquitous 10,000 steps goal originated in a 1960s marketing campaign for a Japanese pedometer, not from health research. Calorie counting. Metabolic research shows that 2 meals with identical calories can create dramatically different hormonal responses based on food quality, timing, and individual factors. This measurement mirage creates a particularly dangerous situation. You can optimize for measured variables while your actual health deteriorates. It's like focusing on a car's speedometer while ignoring engine temperature, oil pressure, and fuel levels. Even more concerning is how metric fixation alters our relationship with our bodies. Research shows that excessive health tracking can create a disconnection from intuitive bodily signals, the very feedback mechanisms that evolved to guide optimal health behaviors. Now that we've identified these invisible health destroyers, let's explore their alternatives, the hidden health accelerators that create genuine vitality. Instead of simply following general healthy eating guidelines, focus on maximizing nutrient density, the micronutrient content per calorie of your food. Prioritize locally grown, in-season produce harvested at peak ripeness. Incorporate regeneratively farmed animal products which are significantly higher in omega-3s and fat-soluble vitamins. Include traditionally fermented foods which increase both nutrient content and absorption. And prepare foods using traditional methods that preserve and enhance nutrient availability. Studies show that simply shifting from conventional to locally grown seasonal produce can increase nutrient intake by 30 to 400% without changing the types of foods consumed. One effective strategy is the rainbow plate approach, ensuring every meal contains naturally colorful foods representing different phytonutrient profiles. Each color family provides unique protective compounds that work synergistically. Rather than adding more anti-inflammatory supplements to an inflammatory lifestyle, focus first on removing the primary inflammation triggers. Environmental detoxification. Minimize exposure to common inflammatory triggers through filtered water, air purification, and non-toxic household products. Circadian rhythm restoration. Align sleep, eating, and exercise patterns with natural light and dark cycles to regulate core inflammatory pathways. Stress pattern interruption. Implement regular practices that shift from sympathetic to parasympathetic dominance throughout the day. Research shows that removing inflammatory triggers often yields better results than adding anti-inflammatory interventions. A classic case of less is more in health optimization. Instead of exercise programs designed around performance metrics or aesthetic goals, build a movement practice centered on recovery capacity. Stress recovery matching. Ensure that training intensity correlates with recovery resources available, like sleep quality, nutritional status, and stress load. This is like budgeting. Don't spend exercise dollars you don't have in your recovery bank account. Compensatory movement. Balance modern postural patterns with movements that restore natural biomechanics. Hormetic stress exposure. Introduce brief, intermittent physiological challenges that trigger adaptation without creating recovery debt. Elite athletic trainers now recognize that recovery capacity, not workout intensity, is the primary determinant of fitness progress. As performance coach James Fitzgerald notes, the most effective training program is the one that creates the least amount of stress while still stimulating adaptation. Rather than outsourcing health feedback to external metrics, develop greater sensitivity to your body's intrinsic signals. Hunger satiety awareness. Reconnect with genuine hunger and satisfaction cues rather than eating by external rules. Energy rhythm mapping. Track natural energy fluctuations to identify optimal timing for different activities. Recovery sensing. Develop the ability to detect subtle signs of under-recovery before they become problematic. Research shows that this intrinsic awareness correlates more strongly with health outcomes than adherence to external health metrics. Turns out your body might be smarter about your health than your Apple Watch. Who knew? One effective practice. The daily body scan, a systematic check-in with physical sensations, energy levels, and emotional state that builds interoceptive awareness over time. Let me leave you with a simple 3-step process to begin eliminating these health destroyers today. 1. Conduct a recovery audit. For 1 week, rate your perceived recovery each morning on a scale of 1 to 10 before checking any external metrics. Notice how your subjective experience correlates with your health behaviors. 2. Implement nutrient loading. Add 3 specific nutrient-dense foods daily for 2 weeks: dark leafy greens, organ meats or shellfish, and fermented vegetables. Notice changes in energy, mood, and digestive function. 3. Create stress recovery oscillation. Schedule 3 5-minute parasympathetic activation breaks throughout your day, using slow breathing, nature exposure, or gentle movement. These brief recovery snacks can dramatically alter your inflammatory profile. The path to extraordinary health isn't found in more intense workouts, more restrictive diets, or more sophisticated biohacking. It comes from eliminating these invisible forces that silently undermine your body's innate capacity for vitality. The most powerful question you can ask yourself isn't what more should I be doing for my health, but what invisible forces might be preventing my body from expressing its natural state of well-being. It's like realizing you don't need a faster car, you just need to take your foot off the brake. Answer that honestly. Eliminate these silent health killers and watch as your vitality transforms, not through trying harder, but through removing the hidden obstacles that have been limiting your true health potential all along. Join our 7-day challenge and engage with our community to start your journey to better health today. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful content on wellness and health. Stay tuned for more.